absolutely
Wait,
is.
no, that is completely unacceptable.
How can you say that? It's the only way.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, you are right.
Hey everyone, Lisa here. Today we're going to talk about something very dear to my heart, which is around the quality of education, what you create. I think we've all done some pretty terrible, horrible training, online training, page turning, content that's not really addressing your needs, it's not engaging you, and you're bored out of your brain, but you have to do it anyway. Or it looks horrible, you know me. So we've all been there, and today we're just going to have a bit of a debate and a chat about what makes good education and training, and is it worth it, you know, at the end of the day. And, you know, I think I'm going to be sitting in the hot seat.
Yeah, I was going to say you're asking all the questions that I'm going to be asking you. You're in the how-to hot seat. So I guess what I'm really keen to hear from you, Lisa, about is why good quality, why top quality education, and why not just churn something out quickly?
So at the end of the day, education is really a process of persuasion. It's basically persuading people to pay attention, to open themselves up to engage in an experience, and to open themselves up to actually change and learn. And if you don't spend the time and effort to understand that audience properly and create something that will achieve those outcomes, you're going to turn them off. We're in a world where everything is competing for our attention, and to spend time through training or education requires a commitment. And I think we owe it to them to really deliver something that's going to be engaging and of quality and actually add value for you. Otherwise, I think it's actually insulting, personally. And so if you just grab something and send it out and it's just really boring, or it's just got way too much content, then you're not really going to achieve the outcome. So my suggestion is you just don't do it at all.
But, you know, as a company, I'm putting myself in, a decision maker's seat. There's so many different areas that I have to invest in for training. I've got compliance, I've got internal enablement training, I've got professional skills and uplift, and I've also got external training and customer and partner education and all kinds of different things. Like, there's no way I could possibly invest in all of that, really. Can I?
Yes, you can. There's a huge amount of reuse across all of those areas, depending where you start. I think it's great to have an overall strategy for the whole organisation around training and education, because you're educating the market about yourselves and your product, which is related to marketing. But a lot of marketing is education. That's of huge value for your business and your brand. Then you've got your educating of your customers and your partners, which could be understanding your brand, but also understanding what you're offering and how to use it effectively and get value. That's hugely important. And then you've got your teams who are also need to support your customers, build their skills, build your culture. So they're all interrelated, and there's so much reuse across an education strategy. And I would say it's way more efficient if you think about it quite globally, because what you're delivering to your customers and your partners can be reused for your sales team to enable them. So there's a huge amount of reuse. And I would also argue with you about your earlier comment about you just want to rush something out.
Yeah.
I would say these days, if you spend the time developing a strategy, understanding the needs of your business, understanding the needs of your audience, and really bed that down, make sure all your stakeholders are involved and have a clear strategy for your future of education for your business, I would say you're going to save time, because once you actually get that strategy in motion, you work out what learning approach is going to work for those audiences. You think about that reuse. It can be quite an efficient process, particularly these days with AI and all the great technology at our fingertips. So, in terms of, obviously you're looking at what you want to get out of it, but nothing's worth doing unless it's done properly to get that outcome that you're looking for. Otherwise it's just not going to work. Yeah. So you've wasted so much time and effort and resources, and also like your reputation.
Yeah.
right?
I hear you, but I've got a board of investors that are pushing for growth, and I need to go out and get sales, and my team needs to focus on sales and shipping product.
And how do they do that? They need to be skilled to do that. They need to understand how to sell. They need to understand the value of your product. If you can have a great education platform that can help upskill and develop those team members, you are going to get that growth trajectory at a much faster rate if you make that investment. If you've got people coming in that are not skilled up to do what they need to do in your business and achieve those outcomes, you're not going to achieve that growth, growth trajectory that you're after.
I'm hiring pretty capable and experienced people though. Like, I'm expecting that they kind of come with those skills.
Yeah, they might come with the core sales skills and they may understand technology, but do they fully understand your product? Do they understand it in the context of your customers or your prospects and how they need it? So not all of this is sitting for hours and doing training. A lot of it's like some level of onboarding that you would need to give them. And I'll tell you, if your managers and your heads of sales are delivering all of this one-on-one, I can tell you, you're going to be wasting way more time than having some sort of education program. But also, if it could be in context, training that you need, you're just about to have a meeting with a customer, you can get a little bit of tips and tricks before that meeting. You may get way better outcomes from that investment than not doing anything at all.
Yeah. So I'm hearing you in terms of that, it's that enablement piece of the nuances of my organization, onboarding and saving time from the managers. But does it really need to be that heavily invested in, or from a time or a money perspective, or both, to be that good? Like, what's the scale here? Like, I don't want to really spend tens of thousands of dollars on some of this training, do I?
There's a certain amount of investment you will need to be making in this, and the return will be there. But you can start small. You have a strategy first. You can pick pieces that are going to make the most difference, which could be a particular part of your strategy or your product that needs, further development that you can see and you're not getting the uptake. You could try something smaller, see how that goes, see the results from it, and then make further investment. So it doesn't need to be this massive, overwhelming investment initially. I think you need a strategy first, but then you can do it more iterative, like we all do. You run a tech business, I run a tech business. We actually build MVPs. We try them out with our audiences. We see the return on investment and we go from there. So that's one way that you can do this without having to fork out a huge amount of money up front.
Right. And what does good actually look like? Like, how do you define that?
So good is really that you're getting engagement from your learners, that they are actually achieving the outcomes that you set. So they're actually upskilling, they're developing, they're improving their skills and the competencies. So if it's your partners, it's their ability to actually sell in and execute on their implementation plans with your partners. If it's your customers, it's the time to value. It's the time it takes for them to get value from your product and the use of the product. There's uplift in their usage. For your team, it's their sales results, if it's sales training. So it's real business results that you're seeing through the engagement in that training solution.
Got it. Well, thank you. That's given me a lot of food for thought to go away with and think about how I look at training and seeing it in the mix of priorities and things there.
It's a growth lever.
Growth lever, I love it.